Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron. And today we're going to discuss recovery, and we're really excited to have Matt Pepe here with us. First, we want to thank Matt. He made a generous donation to Abilities Tennis of North Carolina to come on the podcast. Abilities Tennis does amazing work and provides free programs to athletes with intellectual disabilities. So thank you, Matt, for doing that.
Of course. Yeah, happy to help, happy to participate, and really happy to be here.
For a little background on Matt, he's the owner and operator of iCRYO Recovery and Wellness Centers. Matt currently operates 2 centers, one in Raleigh in the North Hills District and one in Cary at the Waverly Place Shopping Plaza. So Matt, can you start off and tell us a little bit about your sports background?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a lifelong athlete, like I think many of your listeners for sure. And I always wanted to be involved in sports in some way. So I went to school for sports medicine. I have a master's degree in sports medicine and started out as an athletic trainer. And I worked at Division I schools up in New Jersey, Seton Hall University. And grew up in a family, however, that was involved with entrepreneurship and business ownership. So I kind of wanted to find a way to merge the two. But I think, from an educational standpoint and just a passion, very dedicated to sports and athletes. And, I try to keep myself healthy and active, and who knows, you might be able to recruit me as a tennis player someday soon.
We should,
That's our
Aaron.
intention from having you on.
Yeah.
Always the goal. Get more people playing tennis and to keep them playing tennis, which is actually what your function is, which is great. So I'm pretty familiar with cryo technology in general because my husband does it. My daughter is actually starting to do it. She's a volleyball player. My husband is CrossFitter and boxer, all kinds of crazy stuff. But tell us the benefits of cryo, or tell people, our listeners, the benefits of cryotherapy for athletes, maybe especially in older athletes or...
Yeah, well, what's amazing about the services we offer is it's not always just about older athletes or younger athletes. The people that come in are coming in for usually just one of a short number of categories: sports and performance, pain and inflammation, beauty and aesthetics, or just general wellness. I think when you focus on the athletic side, that sports performance or pain and inflammation side, really what we're doing is we're just helping your body limit the amount of inflammation it's creating, and it speeds up the recovery process. So if we're removing the inflammation, which is causing pain, and we're speeding up that recovery process, it keeps you active longer. And that's what a lot of folks that we talk to are just looking to do. They want to be active for as long as possible in their lives.
So do you have those machines that people get in? And is it, because I've seen, like, my husband has stepped into a cryo, whatever that machine
Chamber.
is, where you're a chamber. Yeah. And his head was sticking out the top and it was like steaming above him. So I'm assuming you have those, but is that similar to what we see in pro athletes in general? But I see a lot because I watch a lot of Tennis Channel. They'll get in like an ice bath after. Is that somewhat the same process and cryo is just quicker, or?
So yeah, it's actually a really great question. So first, with regards to the chamber itself, we actually use an electric chamber. And what we mean by electric is it's just powered by electricity. So we don't have the one where your head has to be out. The reason why a lot of the older devices, and a lot of ones that people have tried in the past, your head's sticking out the top and you see all this smoke and condensation and all that. That's because it was cooled by liquid nitrogen. Sounds awesome, but pretty dangerous.
Right.
Nitrogen gas, if you breathe that gas in, you'll pass out very quickly, and nobody wants to pass out into a chamber that's negative 200 degrees. So we've come a long way in the technology, and all of our centers use electric chambers. So you're actually basically in a giant refrigerator, 100% breathable air. It's the same air that's outside. It's just super cooled. So you still get the same effects, and actually to some degree you get a better effect because you're exposing more of your body to the cold. Now your head, neck are all being chilled the same way the rest of your body would have been in those older chambers. So it's a little bit safer and a better result all in all. Now, yes, a lot of professional athletes are using these. Some professional athletes have even installed them in their homes. The chamber that we use, I believe, was recently installed in LeBron James's home. We know some of the installers who do some of these hookups. So there's a lot of athletes who are doing this on a very frequent basis. And it is a little different than an ice bath. An ice bath is really good. It's a lot of work, obviously, to fill a tub with water and ice and to get into it. And it takes a longer session to get the benefits out of an ice bath. People will stay in an ice bath, I believe, anywhere from, I think it's 8 to 12 minutes max. I can't imagine being in an ice bath for 12 minutes.
No.
And that's what we used to do to our athletes back in the old days. We used to put them in that big metal tub and fill it with ice. And I would just stand at a distance and watch them suffer. But nowadays with the cryo chamber, it's just so much easier because you're stepping in and it's a 3-minute session. And really, we're not using the cold. So don't think of it as like an ice pack for your whole body. An ice pack, you're actually trying to chill the muscle tissue. You're trying to numb the area for the pain. With a cold chamber and cryotherapy in general, really what we're doing is using cold to stimulate a process, a physiological process. And what we do is we trick the body into going into a fight or flight mechanism. And when it does, when your body goes into fight or flight, you actually release endorphins. And when endorphins are running through your system, it'll limit the amount of inflammation your body will create. So that's what's stopping the inflammation. And you're also going to release norepinephrine. And actually, I messed that up. I'm sorry. It's the norepinephrine, which is limiting the inflammation. And you're releasing endorphins, which is that feel-good hormone you get after exercise. So for this athletic crowd, you get it. That's why you get hooked to sports. You get hooked to running. You get hooked to going to the gym. It's that sensation, that euphoric feeling that you get from doing the activity. Well, you get that same sensation from doing cryotherapy. So you have less pain, less inflammation, and you feel really good after you do it. And that's all we're doing. When you come out of the chamber, your body will come back to regular body temperature within a matter of 45 seconds. So you could actually do the chamber and go straight to activity if you want to. And a lot of people will do that.
Yeah, I have so many questions. I'm just going to take over, Carolyn.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
First, I have a question for you, Carolyn. Have you ever done this?
I haven't.
Have you ever done it, Carolyn?
I haven't, but I saw
like you should.
Nadal and Djokovic do it. All these people do it. And I didn't realize all these people were doing it. Like, is everyone doing it except me?
Yes, pretty much. Okay.
We could change that.
Right. Yeah. My other questions, I really do have a lot of questions, but so we live in an area with some pro teams. Are you installing, and whose houses are you going into to install? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
That's
no.
just a side. That's a
Not
side
anytime
question.
soon, but hey, maybe that could be a future business for us.
There
But
you
we actually have a
go.
partnership with a lot of teams. So we partner with the Raleigh Pro League. So that's kind of our involvement in the tennis community so far, and it's been a really great partnership there. We also partner with the NC Courage and NCFC soccer teams. So we're their recovery partner. That's where their athletes are going. So they're coming to us.
Nice.
I had a quick question. How often do people need to do this? Is it after like every tennis match? Is it once a week? How often do people normally do it?
Yeah, Carolyn and I play a lot of singles, and we tend to get pretty, much sorer from playing singles than playing doubles, just because, we're out there by ourselves running around for a few hours. Yeah, so that's a really good question.
How frequently are you playing?
Well, right now it's winter, so not that much. And the only tennis I'm playing right now is doubles. But ramping up coming, starting in March, a lot in April, May, June, and then all through the summer is a lot of singles. So I don't know, Carolyn, at the height, what do you think we play?
Maybe like
in
4 times a week, 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a good amount of activity.
Yeah.
And we usually gauge, so we try to be very consultative in the way we recommend our services. And I always recommend, especially for the athlete, someone who's playing on a regular basis, do it on the days you train. So if you're training 4 times a week, come in after those training sessions and do cryotherapy 4 times a week. And if you get to the point where you're feeling really good, you could always taper back. But the idea is you are literally helping your body recover faster. So you have naturally, we all have that delayed onset muscle soreness. People will also call it DOMS, just from activity. And that could be anywhere from 24 to 36 hours after that activity. But by doing cryotherapy, you will cut that number down. So your soreness will be limited, and it'll be in a shorter time frame just by doing cryotherapy. So we get a lot of our athletes will come in immediately after training because they need to go out and train again the next day.
Great. Okay, so we sort of, I think we covered the next question, but the question that we wrote down was, can you give a few tips for adult rec players that are looking to stay fit and healthy? And I think obviously that all falls under that, but is there, can you think of other things that we haven't covered? Maybe?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously a lot of this goes beyond the services we offer, but, taking care of your bodies as we get older, and I'm in that category now too. I don't feel like I did when I was 20, and that recovery
He looks
process.
very young, by the way.
He does look young to us.
Very young.
Hey, I cry on a daily basis.
Oh, good. Oh, that's why. He's actually 65, but he looks, 30.
But I definitely think it's incorporating recovery into your regimen. I mean, when you were athletes, and all of us were athletes when we were younger and on sports teams, you had the mandatory stretch and warm up prior to practice. mandatory stretch and cool down after practice. If you played at a more elite level, you'd have access to the training room and all of that. But as adults, we cut all of that stuff out, but we do the same. We try to do the same activity.
Right.
So that's really where the difference stands. So services like ours coming out of the professional sports and out of the universities and now into a more retail setting allows a lot of folks to have that recovery incorporated into their lifestyles again. So being able to stretch after your workouts, and I mean, I'll even make a plug for another business. A stretch lab is a really good option for people who are looking for some added recovery, and then coming in and doing a cryotherapy, a sauna session, or a red light session is really beneficial, because we tend to want to stay as active as we used to be, but we don't want to do all of the pre and post work that's involved with keeping our bodies really active and healthy.
It's a time crunch too, right? I mean, we're all, rushing to whatever our sport is. Everything is rushing nowadays. So, it's rushing to get to the courts, running around for a few minutes and saying you did a warm up, in air quotes. And then, wondering the next day, well, like, why am I so sore?
Exactly. And that's why, not that it's a quick fix, but it's a quick option, right? You could pop in, and a lot of our guests who are regulars, they'll come in and they change, they jump in the chamber, they're out, and it's a 15-minute process. They're in and out nice and quickly. And some will make it a big weekend event where they'll spend a lot of time in the center. They'll do a cryo session, a red light session, an IV infusion, which we also offer. So they might spend a lot more time taking care of their bodies on the weekends and get those little quick hits during the week, like just a cryo session.
So we can still do cryo and then go to lunch, Aaron.
Yes.
Yes. Tennis, adult rec tennis always has to involve lunch. So that's a very important part of our routine.
I love it.
Or we could call it nutrition, right? Karen?
Yes, there you go.
We really appreciate Matt being on the podcast. We have one more episode where he discusses other services offered, including red light therapy and infusions. Also, as a listener of Second Serve, you can get a $39 credit if you mention Second Serve podcast at his locations in Raleigh and Cary. We've also included links to Abilities Tennis in North Carolina and other adaptive programs across the United States in case you'd like to make a donation. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to see you on the courts soon.